Well, hello and welcome back. I almost didn't have anything to show for this week, and I've been having a real rough time getting all of this stuff together. Like I said in the last part, I ordered all of the pieces for the frame, and that worked out fine, but I did run into some problems putting it together, but these were all caused by myself, and I have spent a lot of time reprinting parts. So all of this in the back of here are parts that didn't work out, and there's a lot of them. But we're at a point where everything moves the way it should. And everything's together, everything's kind of solid, and I can show it to you. So as you can see, this is the size of the printer, and this is the size of the usable print bed, and this is the heated build plate that I still had, which is I think 21 by 21 centimeters, and the rails of course are 25 centimeters. So basically we're losing 4 centimeters, and that's as good as it gets considering the rails, because the carriage is 4 centimeters. But at the edge of the 3D printer we're of course losing a lot more, because we need space for the rails on the side, we need space for the posts, the belts can't go through the post, and things like that. But I'm very happy with the result. It looks very nice, it fits very nice, and I think this is going to work out great. What didn't work out great was the alignment of the posts. It took me forever to get all of the posts into a position where I have a perfect rectangle. All the distances between all the parts here are the same, and everything just lines up, and it's still a very low parts count, but it gets exponentially more complicated to set it up, especially with this setup with only 2 posts. And I didn't realize it at the beginning, and yeah, for some of these things, I've really been paying a stupid tax, because I was stupid in designing it that way. But now that everything's figured out, let's continue. So I got the frame. The frame is just 2 profiles front to back, 2 profiles on the side, 2 profiles that make up the Z-axis. That's it. I have printed motor mounts for the Z-axis rods. Sorry, that. And that worked out very nicely. I can make use of all the space that I have, so this thing here is moving super. I have some space in the back where I can still put stuff. I can put the electronics here, and I can make stuff accessible from the back. That is something that I really wanted. I wanted to have a 3D printer where I can get to the controller board without taking it apart, without turning it upside down. Really easy. The last thing that I added was this threaded rod here, and it basically is there to take up all the load when the belts go from one side of the carriages to the other side, because there's going to be some tension on there, and this is going to try to pull the back of the rails together. And I can make 2 threaded rods take up all the load, and also that will make it very easy for me to set everything up parallel. And yeah, basically that was it. So let's get you zoomed in a bit. I'll show you some of the new parts that I made and some of the difficulties that I ran into. So, for example, this here is one of the pulley mounts for the back of the printer, where the belts go from one side to the other, and it has the y-axis end switch, and I had to reprint a lot of these parts because I switched filaments. I did not only switch colors, but I switched makes. And while the red stuff has a very low amount of shrinkage and it doesn't really contract that much, the black filament does it a lot. And I mean really a lot. If I want to make something like this absolutely true to length and width, I have to add around 0.7% and I get a perfect result. And I have very little warping. With this black filament, it is like 1.25 to 1.3%, which is basically double. And this stuff has very curious looking edges. That means it contracts a lot when it gets cold. And just a second. Oops. And it contracts a lot. It has a little bit of warping. That being said, the warping isn't that bad, but the contractions at the side and the shrinkage is a problem. So I have to print bigger. I have to print with a little bit more filament. But when this filament is cold, it is a lot harder than the red stuff. So I reprinted some of the parts where I needed stability, where I needed hardness, and it's a lot better. The second thing that took me a lot of time to figure out was that when I have a part like this here, which is one of the mounts to the z-axis, when I'm done printing this, I really have to file down everything that is in the crevices so it becomes flat. And after it's flat, I can add the inserts with a soldering iron. And after I've added the inserts, I have to file it down again, so all the parts are flat at the bottom. And then I don't really have any problems with the parts. And like I said, that took a long time to figure out, and a lot of experimentation was needed. And I did not expect the change in the filament to result in such a change in shrinkage and quality. Now that I have it figured out, I'm pretty happy with the black filament. It is super hard. I usually drill out all the holes that I make in here just to make sure that they're true. And there is a lot of material left when I drill them out. I don't get very much subtraction of wall thickness. It is very good to work with. So I'm happy with that. The other things that I'm pretty happy with are the parts on the edges here. This is still the red filament, but I don't think that I need to reprint it. When the belts are added, the load on this is going to be in a way that it doesn't really cause any bend in here. And I think I'm going to just go with this setup for now. If I run into problems, I am going to try to get the belts on the back to switch over. That would make it easier and make some parts smaller than they were before, and I have less tension. Well, I have the same tension on them, but there is not so much of a distance between the bend points, so everything should be a lot stiffer. But not going to do that for now. I'm going to focus on getting this stuff working. All right, that was basically what I did to get all of this into the state that it is now. What's next? Well, I do have the threaded rods, which are going to move the Z-axis. I have enough of this material. I haven't decided on how I am going to get them down on the floor of the machine, on the bottom of the machine, because it's just going to rest on here. There's going to be either a bearing down at the end of the rod, or maybe it's just a bearing ball or something similar, and it's going to rest on the profile. That way I will not have any load on the stepper itself, but all the load will be resting on the frame. That should make it very evenly distributed, and it should make for very little movement when I'm moving the axis. Here's hoping. But it worked out with the Bad Robin, and I think it's going to work out with this printer. And once I'm done with that, I can fix everything to the Z-axis, to the whole assembly for the carriage, and yeah, I can just have this thing move. That's what I will be working on leading up to the next part, and I'm looking forward to actually trying to get some of this stuff moving. There haven't been any changes in the other design. I'm still going to go for a simple ramps-based controller board. I'm still thinking of the MKS. I'm going to have 24 volts, and I'm going to have pretty much standard TMC motor controllers, so everything's going to be nice and quiet. I have made some tests with the extruder and with the tap switch, and I haven't really made any decision, but I went ahead and I bought some bronze bearings, and I may design another carriage holder that can make use of those bearings, but I haven't decided on that yet. Like I said, this week so much of this went wrong, and I had to reprint so much stuff, and I was just going in circles all the time, because then the rods, the posts weren't aligned correctly. I had problems getting the rails fixed to the posts. A lot of stuff that just went wrong and took so much time. But right now, with the carriage moving, with the whole assembly basically done from a design perspective, and the only thing that's left to add is the Z-axis, the rods, the nuts, and the steppers. Yeah, I think I'm fine right now. Just have to keep going at this pace, I think, and maybe we'll have it actually moving in 2 or 3 weeks, maybe. That's 2 or 3 parts for you. More parts if anything interesting happens. Yeah, that's the thing right now. I haven't actually decided if I'm going to make it open source. Well, I'm probably going to make it open source, but I haven't decided if I'm going to spend a lot of time making all these parts pretty. Maybe somebody volunteers to do that. Yeah, the next thing that maybe I'm going to try would be to make this same design to turn this same design into a 4-poster, where all the mounts are way on the outside of the rails, and where it's a lot easier to get everything aligned and set up correctly. But that would mean that you need 4 Z-axis steppers, which is not what I want to do right now. So I'm going to finish this 3D printer before moving on. So I think, yeah, from a status perspective, that's it. Thanks for watching, and See you in the next part. Bye-bye.